All right, good evening, Dr. Powell. I and my friend Arisekola Olatunji will be presenting Building a Culture of Experimentation. Arisekola is a supply chain specialist, and hi, I'm Olatunji. I'm a financial advisor and a risk management specialist. That's just a brief introduction about us. So Booking.com, a brief introduction about Booking.com. You know, its headquarters in Amsterdam. It's one of the largest online travel agencies. It is a subsidiary of Booking Holdings. What are the aims and objectives of Booking.com? This discussion is an attempt to explain that organizations should not just remain static. They intend to move forward. Every organization intends to move forward. They don't intend to stay in one position. They intend to move forward as technology improves. Everybody's using a phone, so they intend to move forward. And if it takes for them to start experimentation, they have to do what they have to do to remain in the market and be sustainable. And this takes me to the Boyd frog phenomenon. What's the Boyd frog phenomenon? It's talking about an experiment that was made. Like we said about the Booking.com, they make experiments to move forward. So the Boyd frog phenomenon is talking about an experiment that was made to show that people are trying to move forward in the market. And if you don't experiment and try to bring about new ideas, you are going to go in extinction. So some set of people went to do this experimentation. You can see the Boyd frog, the one that was the first image, says the frog was so comfortable, insensitive. People are so insensitive, they don't want to move to the next level. They are so comfortable with their comfortable. And the market was so bad that it entered the next level, but they were in extinct and they went out of the market. A brief example is just in the Netflix and Blockbuster. Blockbuster was in the market. They were so comfortable with the market, but when Netflix came into the market, Netflix threw them out of the market. That's just a brief experimentation about the Boyd frog phenomenon. So the first question says, what potential ethical issues might be factors in certain experiments, and what principles would we suggest to avoid this experiment? What principles will we suggest to avoid these pitfalls? The first one is top management unwillingness to abide by results. Top management unwillingness to abide by results. Once there is a result, resources are needed to aid the abiding result for effectiveness. Top managers might be unwilling to abide by the result due to resources and personal reasons. You know, there might not be enough resources for the top managers to go into the result of the experiment. If the result of the experiment is so expensive and they are not able to go into it, they might decline and be unwilling to abide by the result. Another reason is this: sound research. The percentage of customers who, after visiting their website, actually makes a booking depends on the effectiveness of the research. So if they don't put enough money and resources into the research, they won't have the required result. So their aim is to drive up that website by making some magic combination and site characters that makes the visitor keep clicking and addicted to the site. So their aim is to make customers addicted to the site. And if customers are not addicted to the site, there is no how they can achieve their aims and objectives. So how do we avoid this pitfall? The first principles I listed here to avoid the pitfall is follow the data and not the Hippo effect. The Hippo effect means highest paid person opinion. Highest paid person opinion, because the highest paid doesn't connote the highly right. That a person is highly paid doesn't mean the person is highly right. So the second principle says use the nuclear option. Though this is rarely executed, but should be put in place to prevent widespread harm or performance degradation from occurring. The nuclear option. The third principle I listed here is make sure all employees are trained to know the cultural ethics of the organization. So most employees don't know the cultural ethics of the organization. They are not trained to know the cultural ethics of the organization. So make sure every employees are trained. This is how you avoid the pitfalls. This is how you avoid the pitfalls in experimentation. Principle 4 says experiments should be aligned to customer complaints. Not that you just bring about your own experiment from a different perspective, though it's good to be creative, but in terms of us moving forward to the next level, experiments should be aligned to customer complaints. After checking the ratings and addressing the low ratings, experiments should be aligned to customer complaints. The second question says design a simple A/B research experiment involving marketing aspect other than a company web page for a favorite brand such as Nike, Oreo, Dove, and Doritos. I will now direct this discussion to my colleague Arisekola Olatunji to give us more knowledge about this discussion.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Arisekola. So I'll be discussing more on the kind of sample that we designed for A/B testing. First of all, I would like to start with the definition of what we call A/B testing. According to convert.com, they define A/B testing as an experiment that are compared two or more variables of a specific marketing aspect to determine the best performance. And then below is a diagram to explain what it means by saying A/B testing, where we have your traffic has to do with the customers or prospective customers or current customers. And then the testing is saying us that we should have two variables. We have like the control variables, and then we have variations as well. The controlled one has to do with the current terminology of, current way of doing business out. For example, websites like booking.com, for example, they focus more on the websites, whereby they utilize use of Google search, Google advertisement to attract customers to their website. And then the variables have to do with another form or any techniques that the booking company can also probably do to attract customers aside from Google and the like that they used. Please, next slide. Next, please.
All right.
Okay, so before we even go into details of what the question is, we try as much as possible to explain what A/B testing is. And then this is the process of A/B testing and how it looks like. The first thing to do with A/B testing is to first of all have an objective. If you are to create an A/B testing, you have to have an objective. And then also you have to have an hypothesis in which you guide you on what you're trying to test. And of course, during this process, we should also have different variables, both are controlled and different variations as well. And also, we need to also divide the traffic in order to know the result as well. And at the end of all these hypotheses, objectives, and the likes, we also need to come up with whatever test we're trying to do. We have to come up with the best solution as well. Yeah. It could be that our recent variations or testing could be we can generate a new idea for us to deploy for the company. Next slide, please. Okay, all right. Based on the question, we'll be focusing on Nike store here in Baton Rouge as our A/B testing, and we'll be using affiliate marketing to test our objectives for A/B testing. All right. So one of our objectives here is that we're trying to increase the number of footfall in Nike store here in Baton Rouge, and they want to make use of affiliate marketing for sales to know how much affiliate marketing can generate from sales by working customers through affiliate marketing. And then we want to compare it with irregular working customers from the mall and from the website. And then the hypothesis here is for us to implement hypothesis implement affiliate marketing in Nike store here in Baton Rouge, which will increase number of sales over time. Next slide. And then also is to have an experimental group. Remember, while we are trying to explain A/B testing, we said we have to have control variables and we have to have the experimental group situations as well. So now the control group will be our regular website where people go to Nike store, Nike website to purchase the item. We are talking about working customers as well. But the experimental group has to do this time around, we have to focus more on the kind of impact that affiliate marketings are bringing into Nike store here in Baton Rouge. Impact that has to do without internet, like that doesn't have to do with the websites or the regular customers like me that will just go to the app store to purchase items. Now we want to try as much as possible to get data and see the effect of affiliate marketers on these stores. And then, of course, when you are doing an experiment, you have to be deliberate with your duration as well. So our duration for this experiment has to be 3-month duration, which will be targeted during summer. As we all know, summer is big time. Most people want to go all out because the weather is cool. They want to dress nice. They want to wear sporty wear. And Nike is known for sporty and fashion wear. So, and then the primary metrics we're using to evaluate our result at the end of it is to compare the amount of sales that was generated from affiliate marketing, and then we are compared by the amount of sales that have been generated from working customers as well. Next slide. So we now talk about the secondary data, which would also give us a statistical evaluation to know that at the end of the quarter, how much was generated from affiliate marketing. Is it a good idea for us to implement affiliate marketing or not? So this picture explains what we've been talking earlier on by the processes of which we can use in testing and A/B testing. If you look at the first one, we said we define the goals. That's the objective. Do the research. It has to do with knowing what exactly we want to do, and then we should draft an hypothesis as well. And then we should test the A/B testing. And at the end of the day, our goal is to pick up the winner. And then the time for us to pick up the winner will be within the process whereby we would compare our primary and secondary metrics to evaluate if affiliate marketing is a good idea for the business or not. Next page, please. So now, these are the things, when we wonder what are affiliate marketers. For affiliate marketers are people who want to make commission through helping a company to sell anything. So we delve into how affiliate marketing will work for Nike stores. Okay, first, this best way is going to work. We're going to create an account for each affiliate marketers on their ERP system that they're using to sell in each stores in Louisiana. And all order that comes in a month will be listed in the affiliate marketing account of individual affiliate. It will be listed in the individual affiliate marketing account for us to know a particular affiliate marketer that is doing well with sales or not. And also at the end of each month, the affiliate marketer will be paid 10% of what they make in their account. So let's assume I'm an affiliate marketer, my friend Olatunji is also an affiliate marketer. At the end of each month, we'll evaluate and see if my sales, for example, was about $20 million US, I'll be paid like 10% as my role. In other words, affiliate marketing also over time will help the cost of advertisement, because it also helps the cost of having to spend much money on Google Ads. Next slide, please. Okay, how to acquire affiliate marketing? You'll be wondering, okay, yeah, there's an idea of affiliate marketing. So how can you reach? Who can we even say, okay, this person wants to be an affiliate marketer to our brand? We are talking about. We can use existing customer. For example, if I'm a good shopper and I love to use Nike products, I can go on my social media page and talk about the brands. I can liaise with Nike stores to push these brands forward. That has nothing to do with the website. And then affiliate marketers are like some group, because whether you like it or not, we have some group on Facebook that have about some social group that have about 1 million followers and all those things. People can, as an affiliate marketer, you can advertise your coupon code that would allow customers to enjoy credible discount, or that will push customers to the Baton Rouge stores, Nike stores here in Baton Rouge to see how much they can make. People who are very familiar with TikTok, WhatsApp, they can also sell on that as well. Online marketers in general. Also, content creator on YouTube. Imagine if I'm a content creator on YouTube, I can as well push sales for Nike as well as an affiliate marketer. Please, next, please. Next slide, please. Okay, one of the mistakes that we should also need to avoid for my affiliate marketer is at the same time is to give too small incentive. But imagine if I'm an affiliate marketer and my incentives are too small, I might not be interested in pushing the product, because I might not see what it is I need to gain as an affiliate.
Yeah.
But also, it's not able to, also at the same time, the fear is that imagine if I have about 3 million followers and all my followers are hoping to get items from the store. Another issue is that not having enough stock to attend to customers can be a huge issue for affiliate marketers as well. Next slide. So, require staff, you mentioned about social media personality, people who are well known on social media, who can create content for Nike. These are the people that we should attract as content follower. People who know what it is to publish, who knows what it is to influence crowd in order to purchase from Nike store. Next slide. But now so this also job expectation, same thing as what I just explained earlier on, is just dive into what it is that we should expect from the affiliate marketers. And some of the things as someone that knows how to also analyze metrics and track metrics as needed. Compare report for management showing result and all those things. Next slide, please. Oh, okay. So and then they say, why is it important to do other than why is it important for us to do quantitative form of research in addition to ABC testing? One thing we should know about qualitative experiments is that qualitative experiment answer questions of why the expense was even initiated in the first place? Why do we want to do the experience? And what is the experience trying to resolve? The question of how, where, what is it trying to resolve? All those questions have been answered by quantitative research. And that's why we cannot just base an experience based on brainstorming, because as it is, ABC testing starts with brainstorming to see why, testing different variables, right? But as it is, we cannot just base our research on ABC testing alone. We have to use qualitative forms of research in order for us to, because if we use our brainstorming, we can be stuck.
Yeah.
We can be stuck. Imagine we just starting a research based on, we are just brainstorming. At a point, we might get bored and ask ourselves, why do we even do this thing in the first place? Question like that is being answered by quantitative research. Quantitative research gives more details of why and what we are trying to resolve, what are the issues we are trying to, what are kind of results we are trying to get, why we start this campaign, or why we try to start this ABC testing. So question of why, how, the reason for the testing is being answered by quantitative research. Next page, please. So they said the danger that might be there in relying on this experiment, relying on just ABC testing. There are some dangers that can also be relying on it. For example, results in high subjectivity can be due to human error. Yeah. Whether we like it or not, that we are brainstorming and I'm giving different ideas, it can be due to human errors as well too, because variables are, variables can change. I might have a point of view that I'm trying to project that is difficult for it to pull through. And then for instances in a situation whereby maybe the person that even had the idea is unwilling to share with his colleague, probably there's a debt issue. Which means the idea goes down. No one to continue such ideas. And number two, still also experimental research can create situations that are not realistic. Sometimes, women's imagination is very wild. We might imagine a whole lot of things and it might look attainable, but by the time we dive into it, it looks like it's going to eternity for us to achieve. Next slide. So, and then as I said, it's time consuming. Whether we like it or not, there are some projects that are extremely consuming. Like it can take time for us to get the adequate result. Even when we even get the adequate result, it's possible that the variables that we depend on must have changed due to time. Because as it is, human natures are evolving. What is very relevant for us in 2020 is not relevant to us right here in 2023. Yeah. Now imagine if you are doing a research that takes that long for us to attain a good result. Time consuming, the result is no more, the variables no more valid anymore because things have changed. Yeah. And then this brings us to the next point by saying ethical and problems of variable control. Same thing explained about time change because variable changes, things changes. As it is, human being involved on a daily basis, and new government policies also can also affect all this kind of research, experimental research work as well. Government policies can affect that also. Next slide, please. And then we talk about research does not provide an actual explanation. There's some research that does not even give extra explanation, that we just have to go with what we have, just for us to, unable to answer the question of why and when looking for at an outcome. There's some researches that does not even give explanation to what it is we are trying to find. And then it goes to infinity to infinity. A typical example is the cure for HIV. Till now, there's no adequate result for cure for HIV. So you can see sometimes there's no actual explanation to why some certain things are happening in a human environment. And then this leads us to what we call participants can be influenced by their current situation. Sometimes my situation at the moment can be the reason why I'm even starting to research in the first place. So sometimes this boils down to human error, and it can also affect honest response as well. Next slide, please. And then this boils down to human response in experiment research can be difficult to measure. At times, there are some researches that are extremely difficult to measure because, as I said earlier on, the kind of economy we have is diversified. So if not carefully managed, some researches can be difficult to measure. And all this being said, about ABC testing, it's important for us to use what we call quantitative researches so that everything can be put in place in order for us to find ourselves wanting in all these 7 points that was just mentioned earlier on. Yeah. And then this will bring us to the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Stop it.